All right, it's recording.
Okay, good deal. So here's a testing on my mic halfway up. And audio and video. How do you feel over there? You look good on the screen.
Oh, good. I feel good. Yeah. Gotta turn the entire arm.
Yeah,
That's okay.
now you have a mic in the way.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Well, that's good. That's
To my
great,
face?
yeah.
All right, yeah, let's try that. Kind of move the camera back. Centered. Oh,
Hey.
man. Oh, man. All right.
I think we're professionals now.
It certainly looks like. I feel more professional right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out.
Yes, we will.
Got to DIY. Oh, baby, you know why. Well, if you got the time, I'm gonna give it a try. But before you start, we got advice for you all. If you got to hammer, then you got to saw. Baby, please, don't look out that wall. Don't look out that wall. Please do not look out that wall. Really bad idea.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another episode of your favorite podcast, Don't Knock Out That Wall.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Matt. As you can see, we are in the same room.
For-
And
For the first time.
I can
Yes.
look at Brandon.
Yes.
So we saw each other in person. Oh, well, actually, so we had was that same night? So I asked you, or you asked us to borrow some chairs for this. That's what it was. Yeah, you borrowed some chairs from my parents' church for the engagement event you had over here.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was August, September,
Yeah.
October
Mm-hmm. I think it was August.
ish. August. Yeah. Something like that. Wow. We haven't seen each other since then.
I don't think so. Yeah.
It's been a minute. Not live anyway.
Yeah.
We saw each other then. That was during the pandemic, but probably, I mean, it was late last year, so people were starting to attempt to get together, and we did, and it mostly felt good, but slightly weird, because there was no vaccine yet, and so we were just like, how comfortable do we need to get? But we did end up outside talking about, that part was really fun, talking about, and Ashley hadn't got to hear some of the stories that we shared before of our mutual time at the Papa John's. Yeah.
Yes. It's always good to get back with friends.
It is.
It is.
We had a small scale class reunion this past weekend because my best friend got married
Oh, yeah.
to someone we also graduated with, and then so they still all live there, and then they have friends that live there too, or at least in the area. So I got to see some people I hadn't seen in about 10 years because 10 years ago was our 10-year
Was your
reunion. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have, of course, class of 2000, we didn't have our 20-year reunion because, as luck would have it, it's 2020. So,
The wonderful year.
yeah.
The wonderful year. And if anybody out there is worried about us catching COVID,
Oh.
we're fully vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the live view, is that still on? Or did you?
Yeah, I started it over.
Started over. The
Yeah.
live view, we're 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that.
Spoiler alert, we did hug when we got here.
Well,
so.
you know.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen each other in
Months.
8 months.
Yeah. It feels good to be vaccinated. There's a lot of I mean, that wedding went so well, and it felt comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to see not only people that we graduated with, but I'm pretty much a member of the family. So I got to see, my friend has two sisters. So I got to see them and their families and meet them or get to know them because some of the kids I don't know as well as the others because they're older, you know. So anyway.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited. I saw something the other day that was a guy, I guess he was downtown somewhere, and he was on, it wasn't one of those little bicycles that you drink and pedal, but it was kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
It wasn't an exercise thing, but there was just a group of guys just going around downtown of an area just drinking together. Oh man, I missed that already.
You know what's actually really cool is that I'm looking at you in the face right now. Do you mind if I move your monitor over just a little bit?
Go ahead.
I can see you through the gap, but
Yes.
nice.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see you, but I guess I just need that much.
Yeah.
My whole face.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with this first time of us being together in person, we're discussing what we want to do going further.
Further?
Going farther.
Farther.
Yeah. We want to diversify. We want to move into different formats, and that's why we have video and audio for this. And I think it would be a lot of fun for us to weigh in on, because we haven't got to the point yet. We need to start soliciting. We need to start reaching out to people we know and be like, hey, we need to give them instructions, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, polls, ask specific questions. Like, people are going to reach out to us, I guess, if we make a more solid foundation for them to come into. I'm trying for metaphors here when I could just say what I mean.
Like polls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we have plenty of ways of people reaching out to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we have plenty of ways to contact us and try to figure out what's best, what's easiest.
Yeah. But prompts would probably move that in the right direction, at least for now. Because I want to know what people think. And instead of... It's like being in a Sunday school or an elementary class. Like, if you just ask an open-ended question, no one
answers.
going to answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to be the first. Except for me. I was always that kid. It's like...
And we've been doing a few things on Instagram and throwing some things out there on Facebook, but
yeah,
the algorithms are so crazy that even our friends, I don't even know if it reaches.
Yeah, I don't know.
A small portion. Because I get frustrated all the time on Facebook because I just see the same like 5 people over and over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I know more people are doing something.
Yeah.
It can't be everybody.
Is this the same for you too? Like lately I've had to, like I'm used to just sort of scrolling, just like you do, you know, like, oh, this person, blah, blah. And sometimes I have to actually slow down lately when I see a baby. And I'm like, keep scrolling because there's lots of babies. So I'm like, which baby is that? Oh, okay. Because like I have a 2-month-old niece, so that baby's more important to me than say some other babies.
Gotcha.
Right?
The Facebook, mine hasn't blown up on babies, but
Yeah.
I do recall one specific baby that I see all the time, and I keep thinking that it's the same picture over and over, but that baby's like a year old now.
Yeah.
And my wife actually went to visit her over the past weekend because her brother got married, or getting married, or something like that, and there's something going on there.
Yeah.
So she saw the baby, and I was like, cool, that I saw a Facebook post, the baby's like a month old. Because she uses that, like, she puts it next to the blanket or whatever with the number and everything. And I'm like,
yeah,
this baby turns a month old all the time. It doesn't.
It's like when you ask people, like, how old are you? 29 again.
Yeah. Silly baby.
I'll be 39 this year. That's an interesting age.
I was trying to think of, I think it was yesterday, I was trying to figure out what age I was, literally, because I don't keep up with it. Right? Because, I mean, I'm over 21, so I can legally do whatever.
Yeah.
Legally. I can do whatever I want.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
And I'm not even close to retirement, so I don't have to really guess that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured out, at least for me, that once you get to 30, you have to start doing the math.
Yeah.
Like every time somebody asks me, I'm like, well, I was born in 1982, so that would mean that. Like every time, I'm always doing some kind of math, either like counting back from the next multiple of 5 or 10.
Decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be 40 here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
2022, baby.
But I was just getting so sore, and like I've got multiple bruises on my arms. I don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
Just like, God, like mid-30s, but upper 30s.
I'm definitely starting to get more of the that's just because of how old you are now.
Yeah.
Like I asked my dad recently, I was like, do you ever get eczema? He's like, oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
And I just recently went to a dermatologist because I had like a itchy spot on my back, and I was like, do I have a bug that bit me, you know?
Yeah.
Because the last thing I remember doing outside before it started was making a snow angel in the snowpocalypse.
Yeah.
But no, I had to get some steroid cream like an old man.
It's part of it.
I have to have my wife, you know, lube me down every night.
Yeah. I've got weird sunspots though next to my eyes. It looks
Yeah.
like I have black eyes.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to my sister about it, which she's like 4 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh yeah, that's age spots. I get them too. I was like, man, come on. Age spots.
It's happening, you guys.
Oh well. Part of it.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know if I asked this question, but how are you with using, because I know you have your own YouTube channel, but how are you with using some of your content for, say, this channel like we?
I'm perfect with that. And I was actually, so we're on the same wavelength with a lot of things.
Okay.
And one of the thoughts that I'm going to do, for those that don't know, I have a YouTube channel, Agent Wiggins Realtor. So I'm a real estate agent full time.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done many lately. I need to get back on it. I've really enjoyed doing that, and that's one thing I kind of miss, doing those videos. But they're more toward if you're trying to buy and sell a house.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a little different than just DIYing your home. But one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in there is all the home and garden TV shows where they go in and like flip houses for people.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah. Like somebody buys a house and then the Gaines or Hometown is one of them. Like they go in and just completely redo it.
Yeah. And
now they have a brand new home. So one of them was going to be, I guess, the financing part and how that happens as a buyer or seller or an agent.
Yeah. And
I was trying to figure out how I can do that for that one, but also segue into a DIY part. Like, if you wanted to do that prior to moving into your home, like yourself, or if you see DIY shows and think that it's easy and it's really not that easy, or something like that, that they can kind of be combined with each other.
Yeah.
Like the one story have 2 shows, one more of a real estate side and one more of a DIY side. Or just have, I know you were talking more like include one in the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking along the lines of like how people do Twitch or whatever, you know? Like in my head I was thinking people drop in and do some sort of, they either talk through what they're doing, which is kind of what I wanted to do anyway, like have the footage and then edit myself in later and be like, this is what I'm doing here, you know, instead of trying to do the job and talk to the camera at the same time. I can come in and post and be like, well, this is what I meant to do, or this is where I screw up, you know, that sort of thing.
Because there's definitely plenty of screw ups.
Yes. If you're talking DIY, yeah, nothing is safe.
you're gonna have some issues.
Yeah.
And there's even a show. I don't think it's on anymore. I don't remember what it is. First time flippers,
Oh yeah.
I think is the name of it. Where no, that's not it. Reality. Yeah, that's gonna bug me. But anyway, and basically they go in to people that do a flip for the first time.
Yeah.
And actually go through like the reality of this is how it is. Like it doesn't always end up being great, and somebody always gets hurt on it. Like, there's always
Like injury, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Somebody falls off a ladder, or somebody says, "Oh, I don't think this wire's hot," and they cut it and it's hot. Or they just go through the struggles of, taking on way too much
Yeah.
of it. But in the end, like they show, I guess they only film them for like 3 days, and then they come in at the very end when it's all done, because they'll show like 3 or 4 days of them just completely struggling, and they'll come back and be like, 2-3 months later, it's a perfect thing, and it worked out great, and they're going to make so much money out of it, and they're going to do it again, and it's still not real life.
It's TV magic.
It's still TV. I'm just like, okay, obviously they've hired a crew to come in and finish this for them or something. Like it just doesn't.
So yeah, what you're saying is kind of reminds me of, I'm sure I've told you about it, the Canadian show Reno My Reno, where I mean, of course, I always wonder how long it actually takes these people, to work on something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously they fit everything they do into one show, 1 30-minute show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's a lot of editing,
Yeah.
But like these guys will come in and see what someone has tried and done a terrible job at, and they'll either start from scratch or they'll take all the stuff that they've done and redo it. We only saw that one season of it on Netflix, but it was a lot of fun. In fact, I may have mentioned this before. I hit that guy up on Instagram and he responded.
Really?
Yeah. So
is he gonna come on the show?
Yes. Eventually.
What?
I'm saying that now as a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's gonna happen.
If you say it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Dave, bring your A game. We're gonna talk to you about stuff you already do. So so you'll know what's coming. But yeah, he said he's actually got another show coming up that he's gonna be working with like HGTV or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So Dave DePensier might actually be more of a household name coming up. My favorite Canadian.
There you go. Look him up.
Yep. I'll link his Instagram somewhere so you guys can follow him, because he's always posting something about. He's got a cute family, kids, and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Which is really what you're looking for in a DIY Instagram, just pictures of kids. But.
Here's some ongoing projects with Brandon.
Oh yeah.
And this is going to be on it. So there's going to be a little bit of drain and airflow. So this helps for airflow going out.
Yeah.
And also is kind of like a clean out. So if I need to like put a pressure washer down there and pressure wash all of that, just in case it gets stopped up or anything like that.
Yeah, it seems like that's probably something you can't totally avoid.
Yeah. So all of this is going to be dug out and filled with rocks. And I'm going to have these two side by side. So you've got the felt, you've got the rocks, you've got these, you've got rocks on top of them. The felt covers all of it.
Yeah.
On top of it. And then the rocks will come up even with the patio top. And what I'm going to do on top of it is we're going to have like a board, a wooden walkway that goes out here. So there's going to be a patio or a pergola built where that thing is.
Yeah.
And then here, that's his flag. So where the gutter comes out is going to be this catch basin.
Yeah.
And the catch basin is going to have a T where both of these come into it. Hang on, somehow. Yeah, T comes into it.
Yeah.
And the catch basin's there. And then from there out, it's going to be the PVC pipe all the way down there on the other side of the fence.
Okay.
And that's where it's going to go down. And I dug this, and this took me like 30 minutes because it's all rock.
Oh, yeah.
And so I figured out, okay, I'm not going to be able to dig this. I've got to rent a trench digger. So I've got to find a full day to where I can rent that and trench it all in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be fun.
It's been a while since I've been here, but I think so. I was picturing it in my head when you were describing it. So where's it going to come out? Is it going to go underneath the fence?
No, it's going to come underneath this wooden fence. So it's going to come straight out through here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to go underneath the fence probably 6-8 inches.
Okay.
And then go out there. And on the other side of it is, it's probably about 3 foot until you get to the neighbor's house. And that's all rocks and everything anyways.
Yeah.
That's the perfect place for it to go and wash out.
See through the fence?
Can you see through that?
Just kind of. Anyway. There it is.
Do you want to go around the fence to go beside it?
I think they get it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is working pretty well so far. I'm really interested in our conversation so far, or at least potential conversation, because
Yes. Exactly.
by the way, Brandon just selected this video at a random, I'm assuming, and he talks about, he said BC code, which I assume is British Columbia. He sounds Canadian, so we're just we might as well move to Canada, and maybe that's where our audience is destined to be.
There's so much stuff in Canada.
Yeah.
This is where DIY is. Maybe it's because of this builder is why they need these shows.
Yeah. Yes.
Which we're about to see. So we're about to watch this video and we're going to make our own comments as we go through it. New construction. This is prior to the drywall. I didn't see any electrical when we looked through it.
No, yeah. Looks like they're working on the plumbing. That's where some of this comes in.
Okay, so let's start with this. So here's plumbing, 1 bathroom. Okay. Now this is common in new builds that I've seen where they will fill up the tub.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's just to get the plumbing, like get all the air out or whatever, but I have gone through multiple new constructions and all the tubs be almost completely full.
Okay.
Don't know exactly why they do that, but
Well, yeah, I would assume it would be multiple things. What you just said, which was testing the plumbing, but also, yeah, because you got to test the plumbing going in and out. The drain also.
drains properly, right?
If it's going to hold that much weight, because somebody's going to take a bath probably, or they're going to fill that tub up, and so, which is what we're going to see too, which is interesting.
Yes.
The design to me is throwing me off because what he says is that we got this OSB
in the back, and you've got the OSB behind where the fittings are coming out, but you've got nothing on that other far wall.
Yeah.
So they've got the insert at the bottom, and presumably, since the insert doesn't go all the way up, they're going to tile the rest of it, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And there's a little spout that comes out for the shower head. Normal to be up there, right? But yeah, the big thing is the OSB, and you can tell OSB. I don't know what that stands for off the top of my head.
I think the B stands for board.
Board, it could be.
Yes. I don't know.
Trying to get a kind of a clearer picture. But you see all the different textures and colors and grains and everything.
Mhm.
That's just a whole bunch of scrap wood glued together.
Yeah.
Is what OSB board is. It's pretty cheap.
Is it relative? I mean, you don't want to just have one board, your support button, because there's usually something underneath it, but it's usually pretty sturdy, right?
They used to do OSB for subfloors before.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, just because they've learned that when it gets wet, it deteriorates really easily
Yeah.
because it is just a whole bunch of wood pieces
Yeah.
glued together.
The inspector, as well as the viewers here in this room, are baffled by the current use of OSB in the walls, just like Brandon just said about how they found out it starts to swell and deteriorate if it gets moisture. Well, obviously these people don't know that, I guess, or haven't thought about that because,
I don't know what they're planning to do here after that, because if you put tile right on top of it, the mortar is going to have moisture in it.
Mhm.
So it's going to automatically seep into this OSB.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if it even has a good hold.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This I don't know if I can edit some sort of cool graphic in this part, but this is the part where I say, yes, definitely knock out that wall.
Oh,
Few and far between, but only knock it out if it's not load bearing, and it is definitely a mistake.
Yeah, knock out that OSB for sure.
Yes.
Now, what they should have is concrete board
Mm-hmm.
back there, also known as backer board.
Yeah, concrete board.
Um,
I think that's it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
There's
it's not-
several different.
it's probably different name
Wonder
brands. or-
Board is a brand name. Hardy Backer is a brand
Hardy
name.
Backer, that's what I was. Yeah,
I think Sheetrock is a brand name as well, and I think they make Wonder Board or something like that.
yeah. So it is concrete board,
Yeah.
and that is what you want behind this. So basically, from that far right, I don't know if you can see it. If I could make a mark, like this line right here,
Mhm.
over all this should be concrete board,
Yeah.
and as well as like back here too. Yeah, so that's one thing with this bathroom. Shall we go ahead?
Yeah, I'd say concrete board, and then going further to the right there should probably be the mold and moisture resistant drywall.
Mhm.
Just get rid of the wood completely.
Yeah, the wood completely is weird.
Yeah.
So he went ahead and went underneath the toilet or the tub.
And this part is interesting too, because I mean I get where they're coming from, but you probably know more about this, because I'm trying to think in my bathroom when I took out basically the wall in between the tub and the closet. I'm tiling and doing the plumbing in there. I can see where the tub itself sits on the subfloor,
Mm-hmm.
right? But these people, I guess because it's too low, they have some sort of raised platform. I don't know. Have you seen anything like this before?
No, I haven't. It should be on the subfloor. Now, underneath this, I don't know why this is raised up. I'm trying to think of some kind of like plumbing issue. Maybe it's on a slab, and I'm looking in this corner that it doesn't look like it is on a slab, but
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
maybe the pipe coming from the slab doesn't match up with the hole to the tub,
Yeah.
and so they're building the tub up to do like a little L or a little elbow to make it work. If that were the case, they should have the plumber back and knock out that concrete and move it, is what it should be done. Like it should have been marked correctly at the beginning.
Right.
No, I don't know, other than just to lift it up, which no.
I mean, I guess if somebody has like a specification, like they don't want their tub because they're not that tall. Like this standard, this looks like a fiberglass tub, right?
Mhm.
They're not that high up.
Right.
So, I mean, is there? I mean, I guess if they had keep going because you'll be able to see. There's nothing underneath, right? That's. I mean,
Except for what's holding it up.
yeah, on the side, it's just gonna.
And that's a little like 1x3 or 1x4 like framing piece.
Yeah.
That's not even a 2x4, which is what you want for studs and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like, that's not even.
So you think maybe if you're gonna do something like this, I mean, one, is there even a code that follows this? I would think maybe if you could have the 2x4s, like you said, along where the joists are underneath.
Maybe actually build a proper sturdy shelf
Yeah.
and put plywood, even OSB on top of it. I don't know if you had enough framing underneath it to be able to hold it, because that's going to be a heavy tub.
Mm-hmm.
Because the subfloor is going to be OSB.
Yeah.
In most houses.
Mm-hmm.
There's hopefully 2 layers of it.
Yeah.
But of course, underneath the joists are going to be long, like 16 inches. So if you put them every, 8 inches, 2x4s under one, maybe.
This is weird.
This is weird.
It is. It's weird.
Yeah. But you can see, this isn't even screwed in. That little piece right there.
Yeah.
And it's showing the whole weight.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably good that they filled it up because then then maybe they'll come back tomorrow and it's going to be U-shaped. And so I'm like, I do not see that holding for long. To be honest.
No, not at all. I'm trying to figure out that front piece of the tub, the part that you see. I don't remember it when it came in.
Yeah.
But usually, like the fiberglass part of the front of the tub goes to the bottom of the tub. It doesn't go 3-4 inches below it.
Let me see what you're talking
like
about.
This one might be doing. This is a different thing. Hang on. Like this little area right here.
Yeah.
This is part of this front fiberglass piece.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Usually this is, but it ends at the bottom of the tub.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
I don't know why there's an extra piece right here.
Coming in. Yeah, goes all the way down. Maybe that's the issue they ran into. That is weird.
So usually the bottom of this goes to the bottom of the tub.
Yeah. That's usually, maybe that's why they built the shelf. I'm really confused by that, actually. Maybe that particular tub was built for some sort of, ideally some sort of like concrete slab underneath.
Yeah, maybe there is supposed to be some kind of something underneath it.
Yeah.
And what they did, which is this, is very inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's not what's supposed to be underneath it.
Just have like a jack.
Yeah. Like, come on. I'm surprised it held all that water.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's not anything on the sides either, right? And shouldn't there be on at least 3 sides? There should be some sort of like.
Yeah, I don't know what's holding it on the far right side.
Yeah.
Huh. What a mess.
Join us next time in Miracles in Home Building.
Yeah. Okay, this next one, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward because he's just talking about, he's wondering if there's enough ventilation in the attic.
Which we're talking about with Matt.
Exactly.
I don't know what British Columbia code says, but I would almost guarantee that they're probably in the same boat as we are, in that you probably need more than you think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't get as hot in British Columbia as it does in Little Rock, but still
need that airflow.
Yeah.
Still need the airflow.
One vent's not going to cut it either way, wherever you are.
True story. So this is another bathroom, and again, they've got OSB behind, but they went ahead and put sheetrock
They're just wasting money now. I
Um,
don't understand why they even like unless they just we need to get rid of this board. I don't know.
I don't know. Did that, and they even mudded some of it.
Yeah. That's the part. That's one or another. I was like, why even go through to the effort of
Right. And again, that's not concrete board.
No,
Are we continuing this thing? No, that's something different.
that's
okay.
that's what I saw when I took out the tiles in my house was just regular sheetrock.
Yeah.
But it was it was old, but at least it was sheetrock and not wood like in this one,
hmm
which has both. But I wasn't there to see. I have to ask my brother. I wasn't there to see what was behind his, but it doesn't sound like there was anything. I
Yeah.
was like, where did they even? I don't know. I was so confused as to what was behind the tile. It didn't seem like there was anything when he showed me the picture.
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, there should be concrete board instead of this plywood and drywall.
Yeah.
It should be concrete board. Normal screws should not be used in that concrete board. They have actually like rust-free screws to put in there.
Yeah.
They have drywall mud,
Mm-hmm.
which shouldn't be. They actually have a, it's like a thick coating that you put on top of the screws and the cement board to even waterproof it even more.
Yeah.
That you add on top of that. So this is just all kinds of wrong.
Yeah.
Lovely.
um.
I wasn't really sure about this one. Is this a felt underlayment underneath what's going to be hardwood floors?
I think he said this was a vinyl floor, but it's got bubbles in it.
There's bubbles in it.
Yeah. This part, I don't know. I haven't done a lot of floors, so I don't. But you definitely, even when you're laying something down, you don't want bubbles like that. That just looks bad.
Yeah. And outside of this, I guess is a little deck walkway or
Yeah,
something.
so he said deck, and so I was curious as to where. I don't know what the outside of the house looks like. I'm really curious.
Yeah.
But this is the funny part because, those are supposed to hold up joists, and they're upside down.
These are called hangers.
Yes.
And they, well, like he said in the video, they hang the joists.
Uh-huh.
So kudos for them getting like 2x8s underneath there, and kudos for them using joist hangers. However, they don't go on top of the board, they go on bottom.
Yep.
And that helps the structure. That's that just does nothing.
I don't know. That's like putting one of those sliding locks on like a pocket door,
Yeah.
You slide it in, which it just comes apart.
Like, what does that even do? What are you doing? So here's what they should look like.
Yeah, that's what they should look
underneath
like.
it.
And so somebody, clearly two different people.
Okay.
So yeah, kudos to this guy. We'll shout out this guy. We'll link the actual video so you can see this guy and give him props. Looks like he's a building inspector in Canada. Again, I'm assuming once we read the comments, we'll probably be able to figure out.
He
exactly
is Tom Monroe. He is an inspector.
Okay.
So shout out to Tom Monroe for
We
finding
love
all these things.
Yeah, we love our inspectors around here.
Yeah. So that's one segment that we're pitching, that we just look at things like this and talk about them, give our advice.
I have another prospect of maybe a guest that we can talk to. So my friend, Aaron, his brother-in-law and sister are building a house right now in the Fayetteville area.
Nice.
They fixed up a house and now they're building a house. And so they've been through a lot of stuff. I remember part of what some of the conversations I just kind of came in and they were talking about different things. And, and I remember, it was funny. So we're at Aaron's house. They're redoing their kitchen as sort of a wedding gift to them. So they put down some of this Rust-Oleum stuff that makes it look like granite.
Oh yeah.
And the difference between that and the one that we have is that it actually has more of a texture of it. So like the Rust-Oleum has bits
Mm-hmm.
in the paint,
Mhm.
whereas the one we use just kind of looks like granite.
Right.
So either one would work fine, but they were laying that down, but also putting in a new kitchen sink. But the kitchen sink that they put in was lower, and so I'm there talking with Aaron and Kristen, and they're trying to figure out how to get to Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
upload their COVID tests, which didn't work for them apparently.
Oh no.
They're in Hawaii right now, but still,
Yeah.
They were having trouble with that. But I was going back and forth, and Jason and his son Aiden and Aiden's like 17, 18, something like that. So he's like his apprentice, So they're down on their hands and knees in the kitchen, right? And then Jason comes in and is like, "Hey, come and tell me what you think of this, right?" So I come in, and of course I open with, I have a good friend that if you've listened to the podcast, he feels about
Right.
fun
Yeah.
stuff. But anyway, so it looked like some sort of Frankenstein thing that they had in there, and so basically he was either like, "Okay, we can figure this out, or we can just have somebody else do it,"
Mm-hmm.
which looks like that's pretty much what they did.
Yeah.
The drain kind of came down, and you got your P-trap, but then I don't know. There were like all these elbows or something the way they had it initially that looked like they just sort of cobbled on. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can cut all that off, or you can cut this pipe and blah. And I was like, or a guy
Yeah.
probably have, and that's what we decided. Like, yeah, that'd probably make us feel better.
Probably be better to
I say us. I wasn't really doing anything.
get a
We just-
professional.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only reason that the sink was so much lower is because that countertop. So they could raise the sink, but then the plumbing wouldn't reach. Is that what that was?
No, the sink was a bigger sink, so like the basin of the sink was lower, so the drains came down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not the top. Like it wasn't lower than the countertop. top.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Misunderstood the lower part.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
The lo-
Everything was
the-
flush on top.
The lower was lower, not the upper was lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, that was nice. And so I don't have his phone number, but I can get it for sure. I'd be interested to see if he'd be keen on talking about some of his experiences.
Yeah.
The last time we saw them a few months ago for another event, I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was my birthday, so we were just coming through town. Or what? No, you know what? I don't remember what it was. But anyway, point is, we were there discussing things, and they were talking about how much they've been through with building a new house and fixing up the bill one,
Mm-hmm.
and the cost benefit analysis, as we've talked about,
Mhm.
What's worth time and what's worth money. Should we have somebody else do this, or can we do it ourselves? Do we want to do it ourselves? That
Exactly.
sort of
Yep.
thing. They talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Because my dream, honestly, is to build my own home someday. But I'm sure I'll be doing a lot of that. Picking out what I want, what looks good, who do I want to do it, can I do it, should I do it, that
Mhm.
sort of stuff.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Be fun.
So anyway, yeah. Shout out to the Ashlocks in Fayetteville. I like that people are into DIY. It's funny. I looked up before I came over here today. I just for fun looked up like top 10 DIY questions, and one of the articles was top 10 UK DIY questions. And so I was like, well, so does that mean that you can't? And maybe because you remember I told you
I
last
thought
week.
that they couldn't
Yeah,
do
maybe
anything.
it's like a city ordinance. Maybe in the city of London you can't.
Oh.
But because surely, see, I got to do a little more research on this because surely there are places in England where they don't care, right? I don't know.
I would say outside of, well, that's based on our codes here.
Right.
You go out in the country and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
kinda-
we've seen-
it's whatever.
There's a show that I really like. It's called Grand Design, and you can see a bunch of episodes on Netflix. And some of the people, at least when they're building, they're doing some architecture things themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one guy, to complete the aesthetic of the outside of the house and save money, he's doing the entire outside rock formation,
Mm-hmm.
like masonry, by
Yeah.
himself, and it's taking forever.
Yeah.
And that's part of the sticking point on the show is like, well, how long do I need to do this?
Uh-huh.
And is it worth it? But they keep doing it. So, but yeah, as far as like, that's one thing on those shows, they're having somebody build their house. I don't seem to remember them working on any sort of electrical or plumbing themselves. More just like masonry and carpentry and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe there's something to it. I'm curious now. We'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Of course, if there's anybody in the UK listening,
Chime in.
let us know what
Yeah.
the rules are.
And you can let us know at dontknockoutthatwall@gmail.com. Or hit us up on Facebook at Don't Knock Out That Wall. You can slide into our DMs on Instagram, DKOTWALL. Or Twitter by the same handle. I feel like I've tested out all my skills in basically the two main events of our society. You have, well, I guess there are three main events. You have a marriage, which I recorded the ceremony via Zoom
Mhm.
this past weekend. And then 2 weeks prior to that, 2 or 3 weeks, I did the slideshow for a funeral. Now all I have to do is record birth, and I've got the trifecta.
Ugh, is that something you want to do?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
I want to be there for when my children are born, but I don't want anyone else to see it.
You're not going to
No
put that
one
on
should.
Zoom?
Yeah.
No.
That was a thing too, back in the used to joke about like, oh, we got a taping of the birth.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want to see, hi,
It's
people don't
horrible.
want to see animals born. So humans aren't any better.
No. Why would you?
I say that. I mean, it's gross, but it's kind of cool. Animals. I don't want to see a human born.
I don't want to see either one of them.
No.
No. Give it a day. I'm good.
Yeah. So guess what? This is going to be the fun part. We get to look at each other in the face and tell our audience our catchphrase
At the same time.
at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're going to be out there, and I know you got the itching. I know you got the fever. And if you got a hammer in your hand, you know what? Just be careful, right? Because sometimes accidents happen. But keep in mind, as we say every time, please don't.
We-
That wasn't looking
We're
at you.
rusty. We are rusty. Okay.
Alright.
Should we like count it down or just please?
Yeah. Okay. Whatever you do, don't knock out.
There wasn't a please. You didn't say please.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say please. Whatever you do, please.
Don't knock out that wall. Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
It's a really bad idea.